Bath Rugby's long-awaited return to glory under Johann van Graan. For Bath Rugby, trophies have become like buses, wait for ages, and suddenly more than one might arrive. After 17 long years without major silverware, fans of the historic West Country club are daring to dream again. The first arrived quietly in March when Bath won the Premiership Cup. Now attention turns to the Challenge Cup final say. This Friday in Cardiff, where Bath will face Lyon. If all goes well, there's even talk of a third trophy, the Premiership title, scheduled for mid-June. But as fans know too well, trophies are never guaranteed, no matter how long you wait. Bath's path to the Challenge Cup final began after they were knocked out of the Champions Cup, but they have stormed through the tournament ever since. Interestingly, the last time they lifted a major trophy was the Challenge Cup in 2008. Beating Worcester in rainy conditions at Kingsholm. That ended another 10-year drought that had followed Bath's European Championship win in 1998. Back when silverware seemed to come regularly and on schedule. In today's rugby world, few conversations pass without reference to a club's DNA. In Bath's case, that DNA is woven with a deep legacy of success. Even if only those born in the 1980s and earlier remember Bath's dominant years, the echoes of that era still resonate within the ancient city of Aquae Sulis. Sam Underhill. Born shortly after Bath's last English title in 1996, has been part of the team since 2017 and has endured the club's recent barren years. But under Johann van Graan, Bath's South African director of rugby, Underhill sees a clear shift in mindset. Van Graan preaches a philosophy focused not on results, but on process, the journey rather than the destination. You don't act based on the moment, Underhill explains. You do things because they're the right thing to do. It becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. And perhaps that mindset is what Bath has needed. When Van Graan arrived, the club had just finished bottom of the Premiership, suffering a humiliating 70-point home loss to Saracens and a 64-0 thrashing at Gloucester. Since then, the trajectory has been upward, mid-table in his first season and runners-up in his second. In last year's final, an early red card disrupted Bath's hopes, a reminder that in rugby, results often hinge on uncontrollable moments. This theme will echo again on Friday with Hollie Davidson. Set to referee the Challenge Cup final, the first woman to do so in a European final and the first Scot since Jim Fleming. Officiated Bath's famous 1998 European Cup win. Davidson previously sent off Underhill during Bath's round of 16 victory over Pau. Still, Van Graan's philosophy keeps the players grounded in the face of such unpredictability. If you worry too much about the outcome, says Underhill, you end up trying to catch smoke. The more you chase it, the further it gets.